bit sassy, a little bit crazy, a little bit classy. We got dreams and we got goals. We're just a couple of old sassholes.
And we're on.
We are?
We're doing it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. We'll stop saying hi.
Yeah, we'll stop. Don't turn it off. Keep going.
Welcome to a couple of Sassholes podcast. I'm Brooklyn Maple.
And I'm Heather Terry.
And this is our hour of joy, sadness, jokes that are probably maybe inappropriate, but it's the only thing we can do to lighten the load because we're carrying big old loads.
I got some jokes
like
today.
Santa Claus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Santa.
I have headphones on this time. It's kind of fucking around with me. I'm not going to lie.
Is it? You look so professional.
The sound, like I can't tell if I'm screaming.
You're good.
Okay.
You are golden.
Cool.
If you see me wince, then my Botox is kind of wearing off, so you'll be able to see my whole face move.
Yes.
So if I make a face,
I understand.
that means take it down a nacho.
Heard. I can do that.
Yeah?
Everything's fine.
Good.
It's fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we did Secret Santa at work, and we did it with all of our coworkers, and I got Brooklyn.
And I want everyone to know that Heather lied to my face so much and so easily that I do feel differently about her.
Do you?
For real, I do. Especially because all the spicy books that I read about like people having affairs with their best friend. I'm like, how could a best friend lie to someone's face like that? Well, now I know.
Now, yeah.
I know.
It was very hard for me to do. I had to tell our boss, Tracy, because I was like dying inside.
Oh, it was hard for you to keep it to yourself. It was hard for me realizing that my best friend will lie to my face like that.
But I got you a banging-ass present.
Yes.
So there's
a
that.
Space heater for my office because we work in the fucking Polar Express.
We do.
It's ridiculous.
We do. Do you know that I do another Secret Santa and I'm an idiot and I've been sneaking through her neighbor's yards because she installed a Ring camera like an asshole.
Like everyone in the world
Shannon,
has.
I know. Thanks, Shannon. But last night I saw her at a birthday party. I had on the bracelets that I got her too. So she looked down and goes, "It is you," because
You're an idiot?
because I'm an idiot. And her husband was the one that noticed it. He goes, don't you have those? And she's like, Heather got, and I'm like,
gosh.
and then I had about 10 claws deep, so I could not lie.
Is that why you're semi hungover today?
A little bit. I had a lot of the Christmas spirits in and around my mouth.
What did you specifically have? Was it just a claw?
White Claws. They clawed me. And then
The claw just something good.
Kara brought some moonshine. That was chocolate brownie flavored, and it was too good. Tastes like a fucking yoo-hoo. A motherfucking yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
So,
that's a good way to get fucked in your butthole.
Yeah.
For real.
It bent me over, and yeah.
Showed you who's boss.
Yes.
I touched the microphone, and it shattered the entire fucking board. Like, everything just moved. Oops. Sorry, Joanna.
Now you can hear it because you're all professional.
Yeah. I can hear my own heart beating.
Like you're getting ready to drop your single.
Really?
Yeah, sing a song.
That's cool. No, thank you.
Okay.
Next up, after today, I literally told Heather, I was like, I feel like we're going to work recording the podcast on Becky Christmas Day because all I want to do is Becky Christmas.
Becky Christmas is our best friend Christmas that we started doing, and it is one of my favorite things about Christmas.
Yeah. It's the bee's motherfucking knees. I'm trying to go home. I'm trying to have some freaking champagne until I'm over the champagne, and then I'll have white wine. And then whenever I get over all of that, I'll bust open a dry red. And then I'll hate all of it in the morning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's going to be delightful.
It's
my
so fun.
car is packed. There's a freaking cooler in my car with king crab legs in it. Yeah. And crab dip. I got the crab dip. Yeah.
What a win.
It is. It is a win for all.
That's a
and we're
huge
going
win.
to Sam's today.
Yeah.
God, we sound like losers.
I know. I don't even give a fuck. Yeah, right. We're about to drink champagne and wine and bevies and eat king crab legs. I think
yeah, in matching pajamas. No big deal.
We are who we are. At the end of the day, I think this is good things for women to do.
I do too.
It's a good thing for our psyche and our mental health.
I do also agree with that.
It'll be large time. Speaking of large times,
this is probably not a large time, right?
No, it's not. But I'm going to be honest to our listeners out there. Mama Bear's been busy. She's been doing stuff.
Mama Bear.
I've been bearing around town doing things.
Oh, you're just a boss, babe.
Oh, don't make me throw up. And with that being said, I have been waiting until the last minute per my usual behavior. Not necessarily the last minute. Like I picked this story, and then after I'd already committed to it, it was one of those where you're like, oh, this is not meat and potatoes. This is a very light beef stew. Maybe some minestrone.
Yeah.
It's just not heavy.
It's like a soup.
It's a soup story.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's not a stew story.
Okay.
So-
Well, hit me, soup. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We've rambled on enough. Ouch, shit. I just broke my kneecap.
That
Damn
looked
it.
really aggressive.
Oh, it was. It's fine. Crutches.
Stay strong. I used investigation. I can already tell this is going to be good. Couldn't even get investigation out. Fuck. Investigation Discovery, People Magazine, Law and Crime, and then a whole bunch of other newspaper articles that I obviously didn't write down because at some point I probably got tired of flipping back to the writing and being like, I'm just done. You know, you guys, this is hard stuff. This is hard work. And sometimes you can deliver and other times you're just like, I'm going to do this with the skin on my teeth.
Well, we're
Is it skin on your teeth or your hair? Is your skin on your teeth? What's that for?
Hair on your teeth.
It's something
What's
stupid that you
hair on
don't
your-
have on your teeth
It's
anyway.
by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah. You
Hair
don't
on
have
your teeth.
Fuck you. God. Okay. So mine is a New Year's Eve episode.
Ooh, and because we're getting ready to take a break.
Are we? Because I'd love to.
Yeah, we're going to.
Story from a friend.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to take a break. Yay.
Speaking of a break, let's all give me a break as I go through this story.
Yes.
So on December 31st, 2017, officers with the Long Branch Police Department and deputies with Mammoth County Sheriff's Office at approximately 11:43 p.m. responded to a 911 call reporting shots fired at 635 Wall Street in New Jersey. Upon arriving at the scene, first responders discovered 4 victims at different locations within the residence, with each appearing to have sustained multiple gunshot wounds. All 4 sadly were pronounced dead at the scene.
Oof.
So how did this cozy, cold New Year's Eve go wrong? Heather, do you want to know?
Why don't you tell us all?
I will. I'll let you know,
'Cause
sadly,
that's
who was
sad.
killed
Yeah.
and why. We're inside of the Kologi house. I'm going to hope that that's the right way because that's what feels right to me.
Okay.
And I'm the storyteller.
Lean in.
I'm going to.
It's your show.
Kologi. Have you ever heard of the Kologi house or the Kologi family? Mm-mm. It wasn't that long ago, so I'm surprised too. I think I heard about it for like 2 shakes of a lamb's tail and then it shimmied right on by me. But we have Scott Kologi. He is 16 years old. He's at home, along with his sister, Brittany. She's 18. His mother, Linda, 44. And then his father, Stephen, who's 42. His grandfather's partner, Mary Schultz. She's 70. She's there. Her brother, or his brother, whatever, the brother, and then also the grandfather were also at the home. I, oddly enough, don't know how old they were. Fun facts.
Well.
Because they survived. And apparently if you survive, they don't list your name.
Oh.
Or your age, not your name. Or really your name. I didn't find their name in here either. Heather's loving me so much today. It was one of those things that I'm like, how is it that I can't find it? And then later on, they end up amending the police report stating that there was another person in the home and it was a family friend. So you don't know the age of that family friend, their name, nothing. So
That's
like the
weird.
grandfather, the brother, and the friend who were all survived it aren't listed anywhere. And I guess it's because, unfortunately, they weren't on the other list. So 14 shots had ended up ringing out at the home that night. 12 of those shots actually hit their victims. Only 2 didn't. The one brandishing the Century Arms C39 V2 semi-automatic rifle was the 16-year-old Scott Kologi.
What? 16.
16. During the hearing, we find out that Scott had planned out the murders. He had researched whether the weapon he used would be effective against responding police donning bulletproof vests.
Whoa.
Yeah. The process is pretty shitty. He decided to lure his mother upstairs. As soon as she got upstairs, while he was still covered in darkness, he shoots her.
What?
When his father runs into the room wondering what the hell was going on, he shoots him as well.
Oh, God.
Scott actually wore earplugs to protect himself from the sound of the weapon, and then he slowly maneuvered around their bodies and walked downstairs before casually murdering basically his grandmother, and then also his 18-year-old sister, who just happened to be home on winter break following her first semester of college.
What an ass.
Her brother, or his brother and grandfather, they were also at home, as I mentioned. They ended up surviving because they fled the house when they heard the shots from the semi-automatic rifle that was legally owned by the family. They also amended their statements afterwards because they did realize a family friend was there and had also fled. Now, this is what blew me away too. Like, could you imagine either being at a friend's house on New Year's Eve and just hearing shots being fired upstairs?
No, that's what I was thinking. You said a friend was there. That would be fucking wild.
Well, not to mention, like, the sister was downstairs. I guess the amount of shots. So there were 14 shots and they all hit people. So you're talking shooting 2 or 3 times per victim.
Yeah.
I would assume that became apparent what it was. And that's why the grandfather, who probably grabbed the other brother and the friend, was like, run.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine if I had heard gunshots upstairs, I would be the one to run upstairs. Like if it was my family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a hard choice.
Now, another thing, too, was like it was New Year's Eve. So at the same time that the murder was going on, there were fireworks on the other side of the neighborhood.
Oh, fuck.
So the neighbors were like, it took us a minute to like actually figure out what had happened because the fireworks were going off. And then they also heard that much gunfire in a home.
Did he plan that on purpose?
No, I don't think a 16-year-old has the ability to realize that someone's just going to spontaneously light fireworks.
Because if you hear something like that on a holiday, you're going to assume. Because people in America like to blow shit up.
That is very accurate.
And celebrate.
I'm surprised that like I think the thing that blew me away the most was that people actually ran out of the house. I think that like for some reason that blows me away.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean,
gunfire in a home would obviously sound like gunfire in a home. It's not going, and it's a semi-automatic rifle.
Loud as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you would know. Mm-hmm. It's a pop, and I don't even know what it's probably a different sound for a semi-automatic.
Extra P. Pop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I don't know, which fucking sucks. But the attorney had said even though they physically survived, they will still have to deal with the mental scars from what they saw.
Yeah.
So I'm also wondering, too, if they saw things or if they, like, there's not a lot of information as to, like, how was this house laid out?
Yeah.
Did they see anything, or did they run the second that they saw fucking Scott come down the stairs and shoot his sister?
Yeah, I mean,
because she did die downstairs.
Who knows? Because there's other things that obviously they made that decision
and
for
you know what?
a reason.
He killed his grandmother too, so I'm sure they saw. So he probably saw his spouse get shot, and the other brother saw his sister get killed by his brother.
So awful. Yeah, but I mean, they're probably like, it's us or. There's nothing we can do right now, and if they stay in the house, if he's pointing a gun at them,
so I mean, there's nothing you can do.
They would have to try to run out and at least get help if they're
best case scenario. You survive.
Yeah,
at that point. Mm-hmm. He was arrested at the scene and charged as an adult with 4 counts of first-degree murder and second-degree weapons offense. Now, I also read too that he's the one that called 911.
The kid,
and he was like, "I just shot my family."
Oh my God! If you're going to tell us, all of us that are patiently waiting, why this fucker did this, right?
Sure. I'm going to explain the rest, but that's about all I got. You know, there's not a good reason. At the sentencing hearing, Scott's defense attorney, which was Richard Lamaro, claimed his client is and was severely mentally ill and not a cold-blooded killer. The Ashbury Park Press had reported. Ashbury Park Press, I did use that article. One of his neighbors had said that he was autistic and that he was homeschooled by his mother. I read that he was homeschooled because he didn't get along with kids at his school. And then I also read that happened when he was in like the 4th or the 5th grade. So very young. He had 2 other siblings that went to school together, and then he was the one that was at home. But I mean,
there's autistic children all over the place, and they're not committing. But also familicide.
Yes, but we'll talk more about that as well. The rest of his family did not turn on him. Not really at all.
Yeah.
Carol Kologi, which was his dad's mom, so his grandmother, asked the judge if he could send him to a place where he could get help for his mental illness. She had said that Scott was a 16-year-old child who recognized that he needed help because of damaging thoughts. Scott had told his mother that he was having bad thoughts about killing people, including family members.
Oh.
So he had went to his mom, and his mom would not get him help.
Oh.
And that's like, I think that's probably the saddest part of all of it is like, and there's evidence of it that like he had talked to her and she just had felt like, I'm trying to remember the article because I'd breezed through it and it was like used in this, but then I couldn't find it today and it was earlier in the week. But I think she was just like, disbelieving of it.
Yeah.
And like didn't really want to
what year was this
take
again?
him. 2017.
Oh, because this is normally what we hear when we do stories that are older.
Yeah.
That they're like, mental health wasn't talked about, but mental health is talked about.
No, and he was like,
everywhere.
I keep having like, I'm thinking about killing people and family members. Like I'm thinking about killing dad. I don't know. And it was really like her choosing not to.
That's a bummer.
Like that he could somehow talk himself out of those feelings or those thoughts.
Oof.
Which is really fucked up too, because if like he's autistic.
Yeah.
If he's feeling a certain way and you know that there's, at any time, like, let me be really clear. I'm not stating that if you're autistic, you should be able to get help and other people not. By no means of that.
Yeah, no.
But I'm just saying if you know that, like, there is a mental disability of any degree in any scenario, that should be the no shit, Sherlock, I should get my child help.
100%.
Or if ever your child is asking for help or anyone's ever asking for help, they should be able to get the help they're asking for.
Yeah.
Like, he literally was like, I'm going to do something bad.
Yeah.
Can you please, like, I'm obsessing over this.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about, too, because I printed off, like, a comment that I found on Reddit, and it was from someone who was autistic. And it's like, who's also autistic, being like, what the hell happened in this whole case?
Yeah.
But anyway, let's see. She had said, although he was found guilty, I do believe Scott's mental condition is the impetus behind that night in 2017. I'm asking the court for some compassion and understanding in this matter. So the grandmother,
she's sweet.
she lost her, like, because she knew.
Yeah.
She knew too.
That says a lot. The whole family.
Well, we have the grandmother, technically.
I mean, yeah, we said, they wouldn't turn on him or whatever. So
Yeah. I don't know anything about the brother that survived or the grandfather.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That'd be hard. That'd be hard.
Yes.
This is not a great story. This is sad. Very sad all around.
But of course, not everyone was on his side, as you can fucking imagine, because it was so planned.
Yeah.
So these were acts of evil carried out by someone who knew exactly what he was doing. Monmouth County Assistant Prosecutor Sean Brennan said at the sentencing hearing in June of 2022, he killed them because he could. He killed them because he wanted to. The judge sentenced Scott Kologi to 150 years in prison.
Fuck.
In connection with the quadruple homicide. He must serve at least 85% of his sentence, or a total of nearly 128 years before he becomes eligible for
16 going to die in jail, in prison.
An autistic boy. Yeah. Now, somebody on Reddit wrote, and this is Jonas New is what the name was. They said, when I discussed this on the subreddit for the entire state of New Jersey, it led to me being banned from that subreddit. So I'll try discussing this on here and I'll make it short and sweet. While I'm totally aware that what Scott Kologi did was heinous and barbaric, I find his sentence to be way too extreme for two reasons. One, Kologi was autistic, and two, the sentence completely violates New Jersey's ban on juvenile life without parole. Regarding the first issue, I'm autistic too, so I know what it's like to be on the spectrum. And what made things worse is that Kologi tried to get help for his killing obsession. In parentheses, autistic people tend to obsess over different things, close, but his parents wouldn't let him. Regarding the second issue, the judge even straight up said that the purpose of the sentence is to ensure that Kologi doesn't ever see freedom again. This is a very clear violation on New Jersey's ban on juvenile life without parole sentences. However, I'm optimistic that the New Jersey Appeals Court will reverse and remand the sentence, assuming one of Kologi's arguments on appeal will be that the sentence violates New Jersey's ban on JLWOP. I don't see what reason the appeals court would have to reject that argument, especially with what the judge said at sentencing.
I mean, that's all valid.
It is.
He did something wrong, obviously, terrible. But
So let's argue.
Yes.
So he was 16 years old, and then we also did that story where those two, 6 and 7 year olds killed that little boy and tortured him on the railroad track.
Mary Bell.
No,
the other one.
No, it was two boys. I did the story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because she also tortured a kid on a railroad. Was it a railroad track or like a construction site?
Construction site.
Anyway, but those kids, obviously, it's a very apparent thing they tortured, and they have issues that they should never see the light of day. But how do we argue that a kid who killed almost his entire family, because now we're giving him the autistic way out, because he did ask for help because he was 16 and had the wherewithal to understand it. But that also means he then studied and figured out how to kill his family.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a reason why he did do it at the time that he did do it, before the ball dropped.
Yeah. I mean, and the Reddit comment has a point, though. I mean, autism, from what I've read, and I'm not an expert, I don't know shit about fuck, but from what I know, you can obsess over something and it will engulf you if you don't.
I think what they're saying too on that one is that you're not allowed to sentence a juvenile for life.
Yeah.
Assuming that you can fix a juvenile. But that's what I'm talking about in that case, is we also have juveniles who've done the most unbelievable things, and you would never want them back out because you're like, if you tortured a baby, you should never come out. So they should be not following that law no matter what. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a gray area. But what about those fuckers that you did?
Oh, we're crushing it with that.
I know, right?
Talking about who the
I don't remember
are.
the names because it was like I think it was in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
And they got like 3 fucking years. And what they did was terrible.
44
and they
days
didn't
of torture.
have mental illness issues that were proclaimed.
Right.
So
I've been dying to mention on that one, Junko Furuaro. I believe I'm saying that name right. Junko Furuaro. I might be saying the last name wrong. But that she was actually pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah, they found out after they did the autopsy that she was pregnant. I have no idea how long she was pregnant, if she was pregnant prior to the torture or if it was after, but I know. It's unbelievable. These stories fucking suck. And I was doing this research and I was like, this is another reason, everyone, why we need breaks.
We need yes.
Because it's hard to take every week and just find
the terrible.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, I'm going to stay on theme if you're ready to rage.
Yes, that was sadly the New Year's Eve at the Kologi family in 2017.
Oof. Yeah.
Brutal. Poor family. Everyone lost in that.
Yeah. You ready?
I'm locked and loaded.
We're going to go again. This is, and I'm going to do it in a different format this time. Normally, I don't lead. I bury the lead a little bit. This time, I'm just going to go ahead out and tell you right off the jump who does it. So we're going to go in a different
I like route. It now I don't have to wonder.
Yeah. Okay. This is the murder of Sydney Loofe. Have you ever heard of this by chance?
I don't
Sydney
think
Loofe?
So.
No? Okay. I just happened to come across this when Will and I went somewhere and it was on TV. So I was like, what? And then we sat there and actually watched it in the hotel room because we were supposed to leave. So we finished it. It was nuts. So I used Wiki, of course, CBSnews.com, an article from the Lincoln Journal-Star. And it's an episode of Heartland Homicide, episode 22, season 1, and it's on Prime and Peacock. And I got most of my stuff from that. And this is one of those ones that's going to piss me off because, well, for
I think
obvious
that's
reasons.
every single.
It really is.
You start every one of your stories with this one's really going to piss you off. I'm like, none of them ever really make me happy.
Yeah, that's true. This one, though, I unfortunately talk more about the killers because they're so insane that it overshadows.
I get that.
Everything. So Sydney Loofe was a sweet baby angel face. She was born on August 21st, 1993 in Broken Bow, Nebraska to George and Susie Loofe. And then she had a brother and a sister. She was described as a curious, kind-hearted, and giving child. She loved her friends and family fiercely, huge animal person, especially cats.
Heather's going to be annoyed that I needed to get comfortable. I really want to hear the story.
You good
I
now?
want to be comfortable. I'm comfortable now.
Perfect.
Sorry, everyone, for my movements. But it needed to happen.
Yeah. Okay. You can look her up if you want because she had blonde hair, blue eyes, very adorable. I have a picture of her. I'll show you.
How do you spell her last name?
Here, I'll show you. I have a photo of her. This was her.
Oh, super pretty.
Yeah, she was pretty. After she graduated high school, now in high school she played sports and stuff and was really good at it, but then she got diagnosed in high school with scoliosis, so she had back problems and couldn't play, and it kind of threw her. Because it kind of changed the trajectory. So she graduated high school. She tried college for a little bit, but then she decided, like some people do, it just wasn't for her. She's like, no. She went and she got her own apartment. She got a job at Menards, and she was the head cashier at a young age. So she really enjoyed that and was just figuring out life, in her early 20s. She was obsessed with her cat, and his name was Mimsy. It's so cute. But she, doted on this cat all the time, like we do with our dogs. Mm-hmm. She was struggling with her mental health a bit because, it's not an easy age for anybody. But so she apparently used a lot of marijuana, and she was trying to stop that because she didn't think it was helping. And then she switched her antidepressant medications and started to feel a little bit better. So this had to do with the dating app Tinder. And how many people do you think use Tinder, right now?
I have no idea.
A guess.
I don't have any guess.
73 million people. Use that. It's just a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah. I'm not at all shocked.
No.
You feel so pressured to do it too. Even if you don't want to, if you're single, is that how many people are actively using it or how many people's phones it's downloaded on?
That's how many people are actively using it.
Wow.
As of August, yeah. Now, I'm not knocking those, of course, but just be smart about it. And she actually was, but it didn't work out. So Sydney was one of these 73 million people, and she ended up matching with a girl named Aubrey. They went on a date on November 14th, 2017.
Why am I thrown so much that that she was lesbian?
Yeah.
Like when you were about to tell me this, I'm like, yep, another fucking guy killing another girl that he met on Tinder, and now you're telling me, oh, I'm already intrigued.
Oh, just wait. That ain't nothing. This ain't nothing.
Taking everything inside of me not to get my phone out and Google, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah, don't. Because I have pictures.
Nails.
I have pictures too to show you in a second. Okay, so they went on the date November 14th, 2017. So she's 24 years old at the time. Sydney apparently really liked Aubrey, and she was pumped, and she was telling her friends, she said, quote, I hope she doesn't have a boyfriend or something, because apparently that happened to her before. Now, she sent a photo to her friend and her coworker that her name is Brooklyn McChrystal, which I'm now going to start calling you that. So,
no, thank you.
On November 15th, the next day, they wanted to hang out again. So Aubrey picked her up. They drove around, smoked weed, and Aubrey said she dropped Sydney off at a friend's house because she asked her to, like when they got done hanging out. When Sydney didn't show up for work the next day, she no call, no showed, and she'd never done that before.
Yeah, that's not common behavior for most people.
Yeah. And her mom was blowing her phone up asking about the date because Sydney had posted on her Snap story like a selfie, and it said, heading out for my date. And she was like, what date? Who are you going on a date with? And she didn't tell her mom. When everyone couldn't reach her, her mom was like, all right, I got to call the cops. So 2 days went by, and the cops finally went and did a wellness check at her apartment.
They took 2 days to do a wellness check?
I think they were following up leads, and 2 days. That part,
that makes no sense to me. Unless
me either.
Yeah,
me either. I don't understand why, but they did.
Like a wellness check is that fucking day, people. Like, why did no coworker go?
I don't know. I couldn't find much about that.
Obviously, I'm asking you, but I'm not really asking you. I'm asking why, to the world. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I loved that. That was very dramatic. I loved it.
I am full of the drama today.
You are.
I'm very excited, guys.
Okay.
I'm really excited.
She's got her feet kicked up, and
I also have a shirt on that says Christmas wrapping committee or some bullshit.
Team. Well, that you don't know what your own shirt is.
It's new. I'm excited. Sorry, guys. Okay.
So
focused on the sad.
Yeah. Sydney's car was outside. Her purse was there. Her lights were on, like she went out at night and was expecting to come home. And her cat that she was obsessed with had no food and water, which they knew. They were like, she would never do that. 45 minutes away that day, a landlord of a basement apartment reported this for some reason, a strong-ass smell of bleach coming from down there. Yeah, they were like, it was to the point where it was coming through vents and like.
I could only if I ever heavily smelled bleach, I'd be like, someone was just murdered.
Yeah,
100%. That's my first thought.
The tenants of the basement apartment were 53-year-old man named Aubrey. Now this is going to get a little confusing. Aubrey Trail, and 26-year-old woman named Bailey Boswell. They claimed to be engaged. Gross, daddy issues. I mean,
what was the age?
He's 53. She's 26.
Oh, there's some hot 53-year-olds.
He ain't hot.
Okay, well,
I'm going to show you his picture and you're going to vomit.
Oh my gosh, I love that we have photos. This is okay.
Now, they claimed to be antique dealers, as every 26-year-old that is engaged to a 53-year-old is. Here they are. Are you ready for this?
No.
I'm going to show you both of them at one time. Now, describe to our loyal listeners what you're seeing. And we don't like them, so feel free to...
I'm seeing an overweight, middle-aged man with blue eyes, mustachio. Nothing particularly special at all about him. I wouldn't say he's ugly, but I wouldn't say he's anything worth looking at.
Girl...
what were you gonna say?
I was just going to say, he looks like a creepy bus driver that hugs you too long.
He also looks like he might have like power-hungry issues and works at like the police department and like touches like the women a little too long whenever he pats them down.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he could have been a bad CO on Orange is the New Black for sure.
100%. There you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. As for her, she looks like she would have been one of the girls in Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
She looks like she could have been a really pretty girl. Like, she is pretty. I'm going to definitely say she's young and pretty. But you can tell, like, I'm pretty sure.
Hard life.
Yeah, she was rode hard and put up wet to some degree.
And she was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well.
So there
They
you
do
go.
not look like antique dealers, though.
Exactly.
Because I would think antique dealers, I don't know what the fuck that really means, but my assumption would be that they would be eclectic.
Yeah.
Like very Austin, our friend Austin Case built circa like 2019.
Yeah.
Like someone who's just kind of pristine and eccentric.
them.
Not them. No.
Now, I know, like I said, I know you're going to be shocked, but they were not antique dealers.
What?
They were.
What?
They were actually convicted of scamming a couple over a fake rare coin.
I can totally see that.
They stole $400,000 from this couple over a coin.
I need to be talking to my mom. My mom got all them coins.
Oh my God. I got to tell your mom this.
Yes. Yes. Call her.
Now, brace yourself because I'm about to tell you about their lifestyle, and it's going to be a little bit of a left turn. Aubrey, who went by Daddy, was a self-proclaimed vampire that could fly. And he would gain mystical powers from killing people.
No wonder you and Will were late where the fuck you were going to go. I would have sat on the edge of the bed like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because out of nowhere, it's just like,
Yeah.
here's Daddy. And I'm like, yeah. Basically, this was a fucked up sex cult. Like, he surrounded himself with young women and groomed them, saying they could have powers too if they would torture and kill to get them. Bailey told people she was a witch and her power was healing. And she became that because she took someone's last breath. Now, this pisses me off because, like, that's nothing. Fuck off, Bailey. That has nothing to do with witches. Like,
No.
Stop doing that. Shut up. Now,
But vampires too. I mean,
yeah. If you want to vamp, as long as the participants are willing. But
see, that's the crazy thing. You find people who are,
what?
impressionable.
Yeah.
My, oh my.
Yeah. So Bailey grooms the girls too, saying that she would tell them their powers if they stayed with them long enough. Now, the pair used Bailey's.
I know that literally just made me think of Bailey's alcohol.
They used Bailey as bait on Tinder, and they used fake profiles to lure girls into their cult.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She'd meet them, and if they hit it off, she would tell them about Daddy, or sometimes he went as Master. Ugh. Could you imagine being on a fucking date? And
This reminds me of that weird cult, the Sarah
Lawrence one?
Sarah Lawrence one.
Yeah. Now,
because he reminds me of him.
Yeah, he does. Could you imagine going on a date with somebody and then them being like, okay, I want you to meet Daddy. He's a vampire and you can have powers. Like, what?
I would have just gotten up from the date and been like, I have to pee.
At my house that you don't know, hopefully, where it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So he would give the girls an allowance of $200 a week and like do their.
Ooh.
I know. Like,
you know what? If somebody would just give me $200 a week, I'd actually take it.
Pamper them, like do their hair, nails, all that stuff. You know, he had rules. Do you want to know what they were?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you anyway. They had to call him Daddy, of course. Bailey was called Mistress or Mommy or Queen Witch. You had to ask for permission to do anything. The girls could only fuck Daddy. Yeah. The face you're giving me is so funny. They had to check in by text or calling them every 3 hours. Like, they couldn't go more than 3 hours. They had to get in, of course, to their family business of antique thieving and help sell them.
So bizarre. What state was this in?
Nebraska. Yeah. And
I don't know anything about Nebraska, but this gave me weird vibes.
It's the 16th largest state. I do know that. Fun fact.
Why do you know that?
Because they said it on the show.
I was like,
yeah,
that is not ever anything I Google when we're doing our research. Like, what number does this state fall?
I know they said it on the show, and for some reason that's it. My ginkgo biloba is kicking in.
I hear.
I remember stuff now. Okay, and they had to fuck in group sex, and he got to choose who and when and what and how, and they had to do all of that. If you broke the rules, you got punished. Now, Bailey would whip them. They would be choked with a belt. And then I don't understand this, but one of the girls that was in their cult pretended to be a cat a lot. So her punishment was eating cat food. She's alive, so you could laugh at that.
My gosh.
Yeah. 3 women who had escaped somehow came forward and told the cops about all this shit. One said that Aubrey told her that killing should turn her on sexually. Yeah. Bailey told them that she was into like extreme pain fucking and liked her fingers to be broken. Like, I'm not kink shaming, but don't break my fucking fingers.
What the fuck? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've only jammed my finger and that fucking hurt.
What the absolute fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? I'm like, this little kid who was autistic shot up his family on New Year's Eve, and you're over here like, this woman acted like she was a cat, and her punishment was to eat cat food, and this other bitch, we would break her fingers while orgasming.
Yeah, the queen witch, like her fingers broken.
I don't believe.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, sister.
She do her witchcraft with gnarled hands. I guess,
well, witches on cartoons have
them.
Wait,
her goal was healing. She healed her hand.
Well, she breaks her finger, gets a boner, and then heals her hand, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Now, they talked to these women about recording themselves killing someone and selling it, making $1 million, splitting it between just those two, and then they would just go their separate ways.
I mean, that's not a thing. I've read a book about it, and it's truly a thing, and it's huge money.
It's so fucking...
Nobody fucking do it, obviously, because you're just going to get arrested.
Right.
$1 million ain't worth it if you're fucking holding someone's pocket.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's those crazies, and Sydney is still missing at this time, right? So Brooklyn McChrystal, the coworker, she was the last person... She was like the last person that she was with, and was this Aubrey chick, and she had the Tinder profile picture. She had sent her a photo from her Tinder profile, so she knew what she looked like. This bitch, love her. She made a fake Tinder profile and made it similar to Sydney's, and then she swiped and went through all those bitches until she found Aubrey, like on Tinder.
Yeah.
And then she slid into her DMs and matched with her. So she ended up getting Bailey's phone number, and then she took it to the cops and gave it to Sydney's family. Like, this bitch was the last one with her. I know she was. So good
Look
for
at her go.
Good
Look at little McChrystal.
I know. It's like, good for you.
Yeah. And that's what I'd be doing too. Sleuthing all over town, motherfuckers.
Yeah, 100%.
Worst case, what's the worst that could happen if you try to find, like, what, you just got someone's phone number that was irrelevant? Like,
yeah, nothing.
That's what we've said a million times. What's the worst that could happen if you say no to the person that's making you uncomfortable? Yeah. Not like you live.
Yeah, exactly. And now this apparently wasn't the first time that the cops had spoken to Bailey, aka Aubrey, on the app, but they'd been calling in like fake tips and stuff already. They're fucking bizarro. Bailey told them we went out and I dropped her off song and dance, but that officially linked them together. She was like, yeah, I saw
it was me.
So, and then that bleach smell that I was talking about, the landlord also said that she saw Bailey with a girl that looked a lot like Sydney. So the cops went over there to check that out, and that was on November 19th. So 4 days. Yeah. Do you want to know what they found in that apartment? Yes, I'm going to tell you anyway. I'm going to tell you. So... By the way, they broke the AC unit, and it was November in Nebraska, which I'm assuming is fucking cold. I don't know.
Let's find out.
Yeah. But it was set on 60 degrees, so they broke the fucking AC unit. Well, let's see.
In Nebraska in November.
Yes.
Nebraska in November.
We need to know about the 16th largest state in the United States of America.
You're not lying.
I mean, everyone is dying to know.
I know, and I'm sorry it's taking a second. I got a lot of graphs.
Got
a lot of Oh, that was Celsius. I was like, what? It's really cold there. No, the high is 48, low is 28, roughly. So it's a cold place.
Yeah, a little chilly. Now, let me tell you what they found in there.
Tell me.
17 sex toys. None of them had Sydney's DNA on them, by the way.
So if they went into your house, how many sex toys are they finding?
I knew. As soon as I typed that out, I was like, she's going to throw me under that dirty bus.
I'm going to take the bus. Keep going. I'm going to take the sex toy bus, and I'm going to run over Heather and William Terry.
None.
Right.
Anyway. Bitch. Listen. Okay. They found Viagra, a fuck ton of bleach, obviously. The walls had smears on them so they could tell that it had been cleaned hardcore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, what?
You just looked
at
me
like,
what kind
of smear are you talking about?
Smear. Ew. But you know what they did not find? One drop of blood. No DNA evidence anywhere in the apartment. Now, I
don't feel like you could go into my house and not find blood. Like,
yeah.
We've cut ourselves, and I'm sure we've mopped it up, but we weren't dropping bleach on it.
So obviously they fucking cleaned the shit out of that, which is why the landlord reported it. On November 28th, they publicly named the two, Aubrey and Bailey, main suspects, and those assholes already ran away. They were dumb, though. And you can see this on the special. They posted live videos on their Facebook page. They're running from the cops, but they're going live on Facebook. And, like, they're saying, we're innocent.
So did they know that they were the suspect? Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't know if they were just like, we should probably leave while this, like, pans out. Not that they were suspect.
They'd been questioned, and as soon as they were like, yep, we're out. We got to go. Now, I watch them, and they're so infuriating because they're so dumb. And they're talking about, like, to Sydney and Aubrey, like, ooh, daddy. He was like so cocky. He was like, yeah, I'm a thief. I'm a bad guy.
I'm sure he is.
He's like, I'm a bad guy, but I'm not a murderer. I'm just a thief. Like,
ew, like that.
Just
I can
like
totally
that. And like
see it.
leaned back, and they were in the car. And
was
like,
he sitting like I am right now? Like I should be smoking a cigarette after having sex.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay.
With my secretary. Yeah. Because that's what it would look like.
You definitely
very
look like.
Mad Men-esque.
Damn it. That's what I was going to say.
I know. I ripped it right from your mouth.
You did. Now, Aubrey said, and I quote, I wish Sydney the best. I wish her family the best. As far as the police department, fuck you. Like, what?
What is
First of all, keep Sydney's name out of your mouth, you trash wad.
And not to mention, you piece of shit, you were just like, I'm a bad guy who robs people, so fuck you, cops.
Yeah. No, fucking.
Fucker.
So they were hotel hopping for the next few days in Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri. Now, on November 30th, the cops found them at a hotel close to Branson, Missouri. And they were taken back to Nebraska on a fraud indictment for something else, a.k.a. they just wanted a reason to hold them. And I know you're going to be shocked, but...
I already faked it.
They said, hey, we're going to keep running shit in their hotel room. So in their hotel room, they found a portable radio, fanny packs with protein bars, which I would enjoy.
I would too, actually. Yeah. I love me a good fanny pack. And protein bar.
Fanny. That sounds funny. For our 2% listeners in the UK, we are not referring to pussy because that's what that means over there.
I like a good pussy pack with the protein
anybody
bar.
That wants to make a clip of that instead of her just saying, I love a good fanny, that would be that audio.
Shut your mouth.
They found burner phones that had been erased 2 days after Sydney disappeared. Receipts from literally everywhere they went, which is stupid. Like, they found all the receipts so they could tell exactly where they were.
What were they going to do? Fucking give it to their accountant?
I know. Like,
taxes.
Yeah, turn us in for taxes.
Fucking idiot.
Take this H&R Block.
Golly.
Stupid. Queen Witch and Daddy are dumb. And a list in Bailey's bag had women's names on it with their powers written beside each one.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so they leaned in.
Yeah, they did. They also did drugs together and stuff too, but not that that's an excuse, but I'm pretty sure that probably helped with their little delusions.
I mean, it would help with the creativity process. Like to have to coordinate someone's power to where they felt like that was really their power.
Right?
Like you had to really think about the person and try to figure out their fake power.
One of them said, beside the girl's name, it said "see danger." So I don't know if she could see it or they thought she was a danger. I don't know. What would your power be?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
Organization and cleanliness.
I'm not that clean.
You like to clean.
I do like to clean, but that's not...
I think it's a superpower because I fucking hate it. So.
Well, I don't know.
You're like, I got new cleaning products. And I'm like...
I mean, I do like to clean.
I think I have Lysol under my sink and you're like...
Mom, I have no idea.
Yeah. On December 4th, 2017, the cops used cell phone tower pings to find Sydney's body in Clay County, Nebraska. Oh, God.
Do we know how long after that was?
That she disappeared on the 15th of November.
Okay, and when was it?
December 4th.
So they waited 2.5 weeks to use the cell phone towers?
I think it might have taken a minute. I don't know.
I'm very disappointed in the timelines of this one.
Yeah.
Because that's that's the missing person after a quick wellness check. And they would have done it. So I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Their timelines are bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it takes 2 seconds. You call AT&T.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so in Clay County, Nebraska, poor Sydney was apparently dismembered into 14 pieces. Her body parts were placed in trash bags and scattered down 2 different roads and ditches. They didn't find all of her either.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Her internal organs were missing, so her heart, her tongue, all of that was cut out. She had almost no blood in her. She had been drained. Her blood had been drained. Fuck these people. Hard. Fuck them. They identified her at the scene because of a tattoo she had on her arm that she'd gotten recently, and it said, "Everything will be wonderful someday."
Oh.
Which made me like tear up, like for sure. Poor thing. She had apparently had a horrible death, being strangled with some kind of restraint, and they think that it was like bruised down to the point where there was probably something used to do it. She had heavy bruising everywhere. Her earlobe was ripped, and like it was really bad.
What's also bad was watching you try to turn that page.
Oh yeah, that was hard. That was hard.
that required more effort than usual.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not gonna
my hands
hold
are
you
cold.
suspenseful.
And then I felt you watching me, so that I was like, oh God, I gotta hurry.
She has hit her leg on this. Yep.
Okay. Near her body, they found the following. There was a white sauna suit with like the private area cut out of it, like those sweatsuits that people wear sometimes.
Yeah.
Plastic bloodstained sheets, a pink dildo, duct tape, and a pink dog leash.
This is terrible.
Yeah. Aubrey and Bailey were shown on video at Home Depot the morning of the 15th, so the morning before their date, buying saws, metal clips, and drop cloths.
Oh my God.
So like they knew they were going to do this. They were also like,
could you imagine just like being just the fucking luck of the draw?
And she was so excited about it.
Yeah.
That's what's a bummer. All this is a fucking bummer, but like, poor thing.
To just,
she didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
And so that just shows premeditation though.
Well, duh.
Yeah. And they were shown at another store that day buying creepy shit like 2 food grinders.
Oh God.
And then that night at the dollar store, they bought bleach, trash bags, and large aluminum roasting pans.
Ew.
Yeah. There are rumors that the couple was planning to sell her organs on the black market because they were never found. Some think that they might have eaten them for the power since they were so fucked up. Either way, like...
Did they ever tell them? I guess,
Nope. Then they went to Menards, which is where she worked the day of that. So Bailey stayed in the car. They show on the video... Sydney was walking out of the door and nasty Aubrey, Daddy, walks past her and she walks out and he turns around and checks her out so grossly, like aggressively turns his whole head and like looks her up and down and she didn't know who he was. So
he was like, but she was just
like
walking.
Stalking her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was walking out the front door and he walked in right when she walked out.
So creepy.
Yeah, it's fun. In the
I want to watch this one.
It's intense, obviously. Now, the night of their date, Sydney's last cell phone activity was at 8:30 p.m. and she got picked up at 7. So they don't know if she turned it off and what happened after that.
Yeah.
Aubrey told the cops he'd thrown her phone near a cemetery and they found it smashed to pieces and her ID was cut up and then there was a cut up extension cord near that too. He changed his story like every time that he talked, but the underlying theme was it was an accident and that's what she wanted, was to be choked. He said they were having group sex with 2 other women, and Sydney wanted him to choke her with the extension cord. That's what he said. He went on to say that this was their business, that people paid them to make their sexual fantasies come true. And they were paid very well for it. He was very braggy. Now, you saw
I like how he wants to act like, I don't know any fucking woman in this world who is going to specifically pay money for a man like that should pay me money.
That's what I was gonna
even
say.
see me naked.
That's what I was
let
gonna
alone
say.
I'm gonna pay you good money.
Who is going to this ugly fuck?
No one. There's
to be
no.
Yes. Please.
That's like saying you want like guys are just out there paying for fucking ugly ass escorts.
No. Ain't nobody paying for that. And
No.
you said it should be role reversal. Like if you look at my cleavage, I'm Venmoing request you. Like
Yes.
I will send you a Venmo request.
Shit, sorry, God, sorry.
Now, so these fucks are in jail, and they apparently wrote letters to each other back and forth like nobody would fucking read them. They're so stupid.
They know that people are reading them. They probably just
They
don't
acted
care.
like they did not. Because
Or they just didn't fucking care.
they're fucking dumb. They were trying to play their story.
Oh my God, they're so dumb.
They literally say, and I quote, "Here is your story," and told the other one what to say. Like just Aubrey said Bailey was not involved in her accidental death, and this is the part that also gets me. He said like she wasn't in the group thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Bailey was not. She was out there, and then she was so distraught when she quote unquote accidentally died. He gave her a bag of weed and told her to go outside. Now, paranoia can be a side effect of marijuana.
Yeah.
So do you think if you saw a girl die that you would want to go smoke a blunt? Like what?
No.
Like, what is he talking about?
No.
And so Aubrey's trial began in June, and of course he made a big ruckus. Now, one witness was testifying. He screams out in the middle of this, "Bailey is innocent, and I curse you all." And then he slits his own fucking throat in the courtroom, and yes, they show it on the show. Yeah. I didn't see that one coming either.
Okay. Number one, why did you give me no foreplay? That you had the best story in the world.
Because I built it up last time, so.
Oh my God.
This is part of your Christmas present.
It feels like a Christmas present. This is insane.
He somehow got a fucking razor blade in.
And did he die? Hurry up. Stop. What are you doing? Tell me.
He survived after stitches, but he had to miss a lot of his trial because he didn't even do it right. Like, he couldn't even do that right.
I mean,
fucker. He didn't hit an artery or anything. Just it was very light. He didn't go in hard enough.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He pled not guilty to first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder, but pled guilty to improper disposal of skeletal remains. Now, I want to talk to you about this, too. So say his dumb story was true. It's not, but say it was. If someone accidentally died, would you then...
Nope.
Take a hacksaw to them and throw them everywhere.
That's what we did like so many times. So many times have we seen that.
No.
It was an accident.
No,
it was an accident.
That.
So of course the best way to get rid of a body, if it's a fucking accident.
Yeah.
Still, no. That's not, I don't know.
That is not the proper behavior. And I was mad. The more mad I got was watching it. And I rewatched
we
it
do
today.
know that for a fact, the best way to get rid of a body is to chop up the body and to dispose of the body in multiple locations. That is a fact.
But
hold on.
Okay.
It's the best way to get rid of a body. So at the end of the day, if somebody did die on accident and you were like, I'm going to go to jail either way because I can't prove that this was an accident. Yeah. And if you have the psyche enough to do it, yeah. We're talking 0.0001% of humans could do that.
And it was premeditated. They didn't just happen to buy bleach, trash. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. They're fucking, I hate them. Anyway, and then the defense had the audacity to suggest that Sydney joined the sex cult for money. So they were like, oh no, she willingly, like his lawyer was saying, well, she came into the sex cult, she wanted to be there. She did not want to be there. She thought she was going on a date with a chick. That's why. Yeah.
I hate how the defense always has to come up with a fucking hole and make somebody look bad. She already died. In court, always, you have to attack the victim. Yeah. It's like they asked for it. And they never fucking asked for it.
Yeah.
They always fucking do that.
Yeah.
Just like a rape victim. Let's attack the woman and see how it could have possibly been her fucking fault.
Exactly.
This shit pisses me off.
Me
I'm
too.
getting mad.
I literally wrote, which pisses me off so much. So
I'm so annoyed.
Okay. Aubrey was found guilty on all charges, and the pandemic screwed with the timeline a little bit, but in June of 2021, 3 hours later, he was sentenced to death. Now, also in June of 21, Bailey Boswell was found guilty of the same charges as Daddy and got life without parole because one judge of 3 would not sign off on the death penalty for her.
Why do you think that was? Because she was a female?
I don't know.
Maybe they thought he influenced.
That was my thought. Like that he had some weird power over her.
He groomed her.
Yeah. Which, I mean, she did have a bad home life. Her dad wasn't in the picture, so he saw that and probably preyed upon her.
Or she was just as sadistic.
Who knows? That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We don't know what we don't know.
Yes. Aubrey is still on death row in Nebraska, and Bailey's ass is in jail. Now, there's a Facebook group called Celebrating Sydney Loofe and an organization called the Set Me Free Project, which is an anti-sex trafficking group because at first the cops and her parents thought she might have been kidnapped and sex trafficked, through that instead, especially when they didn't find any blood in the apartment. But this group, the Set Me Free Project, dedicated a $3,000 scholarship annually in Sydney's name to students who are pursuing careers in criminology, online safety, and social work.
So they're saying that she was strangled?
Yep.
And they don't, I don't know. I'm like, at what point and who strangled her? Was it the guy or was it the girl?
The guy.
When did the guy just pop up? Do you know what I'm saying?
So they took her back to the apartment because... her date, Sydney, Bailey was like, well, let's go smoke weed at my apartment.
Okay.
Because they drove around for a little bit, and she was like, oh, okay, I'll go back to your apartment.
Yeah.
And then she took him, and he was there. So, and then there's nobody really knows what happened. He won't say.
I'm just curious if they like tried or if they were just like, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna kill her.
Yeah, I don't know. He wouldn't say.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious if they were just like, you know what, let's see what she's down for.
Yeah.
And then it turned to that, or
she on the show they said that she fought for her life. So I'm assuming they probably were like,
just
we're all
attacked
gonna
her.
sleep together, and she's like, no, the fuck we're not.
Yeah.
So that's a sad story of the murder of Sydney Loofe by those fuck bags.
That's terrible.
It is. It is very terrible.
I've touched this mic more today than I have in
You're
probably
very
a year.
shifty.
I am.
Antsy pantsy.
I gotta move.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
What?
Every time you touch that keyboard, or the mouse, it can like stop recording, like our hard stop we did the other day.
Yes, that is possible if I click on any of those things.
Yeah.
Or I can just pick up the thing and not touch any of the buttons.
You can, and you did successfully.
I did. I crushed it.
You know what else we did?
You know what else? You crushed that story.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
That was a very wild one. See, that's what I'm saying. Whenever you get a story and you're like, this is going to blow your mind left, right, and center. And then there's other times where you're like, this is fucked up, but
yeah.
I'm just going to tell you a quick little story.
Yeah, we did both.
Way to do it all.
We did.
We're so excited to take some time off. We hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season too.
Yes. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We will see you next year.
We sure will.
Right?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But we are taking 1 week off. So subscribe and listen to our old stuff.
Yeah. We love you so much.
Yeah. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Theodore, can I bet that guy?